Hello, everyone. Welcome to NLP and the Coronavirus, day 46. Yesterday, in the last live, we completed the 7 laws, 7 universal laws, 7 universal principles from the Kybalion by the 3 initiates. And what I asked for was whether you had any outstanding questions. And, well, some of you did have some really outstanding questions. So in fact, we've had 3 major questions, and they're really deep questions, so there's no way that I can answer all 3 in one of these lives and keep within the time frame that I think works best for you. So I am going to answer them all. And we're going to do them over a couple of lives, I think. So the one I want to talk about tonight is from Amelia. And I'll read it to you, but it's in the thread anyway for NLP and Coronavirus number 45. Hi David, thank you for the Kybalion series. I first heard of it from you during our training, so this is really helpful. And now I have many questions, but I'll stick to one. Amelia, put them all in. Yeah, they're great. Because of this law of correspondence, right? Amelia, if you have a question come up, there will be other people that have got the question come up that haven't actually put it in the thread. All right. So if you've got other questions, put them all in there and I'll answer them all. Okay. But I'll stick to one. Let's say I have a relationship where I am on a different level of vibration than the other person in some aspect of my life. I am happy and passionate, and they are angry and vengeful. How do I create rapport with them? You said something on the lines of mirror, pace, and lead. This means I have to role play and mirror their emotional and mental level and connect with my own potential for anger and thirst for revenge, and engage them at that level. Or, what is your take on this matter? Thank you for bringing clarity. Have a wonderful day. Yeah, great question, Amelia. And the reason I want to do this one first is I think that, with us on lockdown around the world, many people are experiencing this. They were in a confined space with people that we might have the experience of vibrating at a different frequency and a different level than us. So I want to give you some real tangible things here. And it's around correspondence. And, I gave you an analogy, a correspondence, if you like, a metaphor, from electronics, which is the transformer, where, we've got a coil here, we've got a coil there. They're not electrically connected, but they are magnetically connected. So when we put a alternating current into this side of the transformer, it creates an electromagnetic field, which is then induces corresponding AC current in this side. So the thing we've got to be very aware of is that this is AC. Yeah, and what comes out of here is AC. So what you're experiencing is a difference in frequency. And I think you actually said that in your question. So yes, from a NLP point of view, what we would do, as you quite rightly said in your message, is that we would pace, and lead the person, influence the person to change their frequency. So what we need to do to be able to do that from a purely NLP point of view is to change our frequency. Now, one of the things you you mentioned in your message was that you needed to meet them or role play. I think it was your actual words. Role play the anger and the revenge and the vengefulness. From an NLP point of view, no, that you don't have to do that. From a pace lead point of view, all you need to do is to adopt the same physiology as them. So matching their physiology, matching their voice tonality will create the correspondence between the two of you, or what we call in NLP, rapport between the two of you. Now, obviously, when you change your physiology and you change your voice tonality, then you are going to start to feel the same way as them. So you need to make sure, and this ties into the next part of this answer to the question. One of the things you need to make sure is that you've released all of your anger and all of your vengefulness around everybody and everything, so that you can shift your physiology, you can shift your voice tonality, and actually be okay. See, here's the thing. If you're matching and mirroring somebody who's in what we might call a negative emotional state, and a state that we don't naturally go into ourselves, then, when we get into rapport or correspondence with a person who's in that state, then what will happen is we will begin to start to feel the same feelings. That's the pace. Where our attention needs to be is on the lead, so that we are going into the same frequency, correspondence with them, rapport, if we want to use different languages from different models, and our outcome is the lead. We've got to remember that. Otherwise, what might happen is that we might end up getting stuck in here with them and agreeing with them and going like, yeah, we should be angry, and yeah, got to take revenge, and whatever. So remember, it's pace, lead. Yeah. So that's from an NLP point of view. Now let's talk about it from a Kybalion point of view, with the 7 universal laws, and also from an electronics point of view. So correspondence, frequency in, frequency out. As in the microcosm, so in the macrocosm. As above, so below. So if you are perceiving anger and vengefulness in somebody else, then because of the law of correspondence, that's ultimately a projection from inside of you. Now, I don't know this, Amelia, because you didn't actually put it in the message, whether it's somebody that you are in a relationship with or somebody that you're living with. In actual fact, from an astrological point of view, whether you're in a relationship with a person or you are living physically in the same place as a person, the projection is the same. And what we do with the person that we're in the relationship with, by that it's an intimate relationship I'm talking about here, or we're sharing a house with, or we're sharing an apartment with, or we're sharing a flat with, or we're sharing a room with, is, from an astrological point of view, it's a 7th house projection. So what we project onto this person is the us that we are most unconscious about. It's what Carl Jung called the shadow. And a lot of people go like, oh, shadow, evil, dirty, nasty. No, he just called it the shadow because you can't see your own shadow. So it would be, what this person would be reflecting back to you is the you that you're not aware of, the unconscious you, if you like. So even with NLP and pacing and leading and those kind of things, let's look at the correspondence inside out aspect first. Yeah. So what it would mean is that there is an aspect inside of you which is angry and vengeful. Now, in Huna, we have the idea that we carry around inside of us parts of us that's everybody that we've ever met or ever known or even ever thought of. So, as an example, I can go inside of me and find the part of me that's my dad, even though my dad died in the mid-1980s, and he would still respond to me in the way he would do if he was here today. I can go inside and find the part of me that's my mum, up in Nottingham in serious lockdown at this point in time. And even though we're physically apart, I can find the part of me inside that's my mum, and I can communicate with her, and she'll respond to me in exactly the way that she would do if she was here, which would be, have you got a proper job yet, or are you still doing that NLP stuff? Thanks, Mum. My mum does watch some of these. Or equally, I go inside and find the part of me that's Jack Sparrow, the movie character, and he would respond with me in exactly the way that he would do if he was actually here. That is, from a projection point of view, the slide in the projector. So my thing for you, Amelia, and anybody else that's listening to this that's having a similar experience, is go inside and find the part of you that represents the person that you're having this perception about. Are they totally healed, whole, and magnificent? Or, Amelia, in your particular situation, are they angry and vengeful? Because they can be no better or worse than that when they are around you because of correspondence, or, as Carl Jung would call perception's projection, as the Taoists would call as in the microcosm, so in the macrocosm, or Hermes Trismegistus, the thrice great, would say, as above, so below. Because what we've got here is you're putting a particular frequency in here for that person, and then they are picking that up in their side of the transformer and acting out exactly the way that you expect them to do. So the intervention for this, the solution for this, and this is really important to do before you even attempt to do a pacing and leading, because to a certain extent, the pacing and lead is not going to work until you've sorted out the correspondence issue, is from Huna and Ho'oponopono. What I'm going to do is I recorded a new version of Ho'oponopono, which is a shorter version, which is just for doing with one person, and it's got the wonderful music from new track from my friend Frederick Carlson there. I'm going to put the link in for that into the header for this Facebook Live, because if you haven't downloaded that already, then download it. It was a personal experience I had with exactly this thing. I had a particular member of staff, and in my perception, he wasn't happy. He was not happy with me. He was not okay with me. And it kept getting worse, kept getting worse, kept getting worse. And I got to the point where I went, right, tomorrow I'm going to have that uncomfortable 5 minutes of sitting down and going like, right, let's just get this sorted out, because it's not working for me, and therefore it's not working for you, and it's not working for the company. It's not working for the business in general. And I went like, right, I'm going to do that tomorrow morning. And then, I went home and I thought about what I've just been sharing with you tonight. And I thought, okay, let me go inside and find the part of me that's him. And is he totally healed, whole, and magnificent? And I went inside to find the part of him, part of me that was him. And he wasn't totally healed, whole, and magnificent at all. He was not okay with me. He was grumpy with me, etc. So I did Ho'oponopono with the part of me that was him. So that then my perception inside of me, which is not him at all, Yeah, because if it's a part of me, it's me, not him. Yeah. He was totally healed, whole, magnificent. Went into the office the next day, and as soon as I got in and he arrived, I went like, okay, let's go and have a conversation. I need to have a quick chat with you. And, I was upfront with him. I said, look, I'm maybe my perception, and at the moment, you don't seem to be okay with me. And, it's causing me a problem. I'm sure it's causing you a problem too. And it's also starting to cause a problem in the business. Let's get this sorted out. Let's have the uncomfortable conversation so we can get to the other side of it. And he said to me, yeah, you're right. I haven't been okay with you. But I was thinking about it last night, and I'm okay now. I'm sorted. I'm all right. I'm okay with you now. Yeah, totally okay. And so we don't need to have a conversation. We're okay. And I just said to him, just out of interest, what time last night were you thinking about this? And the time he said was exactly the time that I was doing Ho'oponopono with him at home inside of myself. Yeah. So this is how we apply the Kybalion, the principle or the law of correspondence, and integrate it into NLP. But you see, if you just did the NLP rapport side of things, but still you're projecting onto the person that they are angry and vengeful, then at best all you're going to achieve is a momentary or short-lived temporary result. Whereas when you sort out the projection inside of you, the correspondence inside of you, you might not even need to do the NLP pacing and leading model. This is what happens when you've healed up the part of you inside completely using Ho'oponopono. Then what happens is that the person outside of you appears to change. Yeah. So there's a number of different options with this. What will happen is either the person will just stop acting the way that they did that annoyed you or you didn't like when they're around you. You don't know what they're doing when they're not around you. Yeah. Or they will still act the same way as they did before, but it won't bother you anymore. Or they will disappear. And I do mean disappear, as in they will leave your life in one way, shape, or form. So, Amelia, thank you for that question. Brilliant question, and I think one that many other people have been pondering in one way, shape, or form for maybe a long time, but particularly since we've been in lockdown and we've been in confinement, if you like, with certain people, including if you were in confinement with just yourself. So thank you for that, Amelia, and I hope that answers your question totally and fully. I will be doing Christina and Adrian's question in future Facebook Lives because they're great questions, but I just want to get that one done first. And there's a bit of a relationship between Adrian's and Christina's anyway, so I think I might be able to do both of them in one session, but you never know. Okay, so hope that was useful. And wherever you are in the world, love you lots, and ahui ho.